Stop. Stop what you're doing. Lock the door. Put your headphones in, because what I am about to lay out, piece by piece, year by year, bar by bar, is the most calculated destruction of a superstar that hip-hop has ever witnessed, and nobody has ever told you the full story like this. There is a man in a mansion in Toronto right now. Billions of streams, more #1 hits than almost anyone alive, changed pop culture forever, and yet that man is finished. His legacy shattered, his reputation in ruins, his throne burned to ashes by a 5'6" poet from Compton who never raised his voice until the exact perfect moment. I am talking about Drake, and how Kendrick Lamar did not just beat him, he allegedly exposed a 13-year empire built on manipulation, ghostwriters, borrowed identities, and psychological warfare against everyone who got too close to the crown. Stop. Stop what you're doing. Lock the door. Put your headphones in, because what I am about to lay out, piece by piece, year by year, bar by bar, is the most calculated destruction of a superstar that hip-hop has ever witnessed, and nobody has ever told you the full story like this. There is a man in a mansion in Toronto right now, billions of streams, more #1 hits than almost anyone alive, changed pop culture forever, and yet that man is finished. His legacy shattered, his reputation in ruins, his throne burned to ashes by a 5'6" poet from Compton who never raised his voice until the exact perfect moment. I am talking about Drake, and how Kendrick Lamar did not just beat him, he allegedly exposed a 13-year empire built on manipulation, ghostwriters, borrowed identities, and psychological warfare against everyone who got too close to the crown. The scariest part? Kendrick planned it, not for months, not for a year, over a decade, silently, patiently, watching Drake allegedly betray person after person, collecting receipts, studying patterns, until the evidence was so overwhelming that all Kendrick had to do was open his mouth and the castle came crashing down. This is not a rap beef breakdown. This is a crime scene, and I have every piece of evidence. Before I crack open this file, and trust me, it is thick, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications. This is the kind of video certain people do not want circulating. If the algorithm buries it, the only thing that saves it is you engaging right now. Here is what nobody has done. Everyone talks about Kendrick versus Drake in pieces, not like us, Pusha T, ghostwriting, but nobody has connected all of the dots into one unbroken chain from 2011 to 2025. 13 years of alleged manipulation, 13 years Kendrick was apparently watching, cataloging, and waiting, until he was not waiting anymore. Think of me as the detective. This video is the case file, every exhibit, every witness statement, every smoking gun, and by the end, you will understand why Kendrick did not just win a rap beef, he allegedly dismantled a fraud. Exhibit A. Every great con starts with trust. Every villain, they do not start by attacking, they befriend you, study you, learn your weaknesses, and then use it against you. That, allegedly, is what Drake did with Kendrick Lamar. It was 2011, early 2012. Drake was a monster, Lil Wayne behind him, Young Money, every radio station on lock, and an army of fans who treated criticism like a personal attack, untouchable. Then this kid from Compton appeared, Kendrick Lamar, freshly signed to TDE. He had just dropped Section 80, and the West Coast had not felt that energy since the 90s. People whispered about him like a prophecy being fulfilled. Here's the part most people skip. Drake reached out to Kendrick first. Why would the biggest rapper reach out to an underground kid? Genuine admiration? Maybe. Or maybe Drake saw the threat early and wanted it where he could see it, close enough to monitor, close enough to neutralize. Kendrick reflected on this. He said, "Before I ever got the chance to really know Drake, I respected the game he built. We always took time to listen to each other's music. I would even say he pushed me to be better." Sounds like friendship, but then he added, "But I also knew deep down that this wasn't real friendship. This was competition wearing a mask." Competition wearing a mask. Kendrick saw through it from day one, said nothing, filed it away, kept making music. The patience of a man who knows the truth reveals itself. You just have to wait. Fast forward to 2013, the mask slips for the first time. Kendrick jumped on Big Sean's control and detonated a bomb. Name-dropped everyone: Drake, J. Cole, Big Sean. Said he was trying to murder every rapper in the game. Most understood. Competitive fire, iron sharpening iron, the DNA of hip-hop. But Drake, instead of rising to the challenge, he tried to diminish it. "It was just a really bad verse. I didn't really feel anything from it. I'm not sure why people are so excited about it." The verse every rapper on earth was discussing, the one that reignited competitive lyricism across a generation, and Drake felt nothing? That is fear in a suit. A man who decided if he couldn't out-rap Kendrick, he would make him irrelevant through dismissal. That's what manipulators do. They do not meet you in the arena. They convince everyone the arena doesn't matter.
Kendrick did not flinch. He responded with Good Kid, Mad City going diamond. Grammy nominations, the West Coast Renaissance on his shoulders. He let the work speak. Silence backed by excellence. Tattoo that on your brain. It is the key to understanding everything Kendrick has ever done. Now we arrive in 2015, and if Exhibit B showed you Drake's fear, Exhibit C is going to show you his desperation in full color. Kendrick drops To Pimp a Butterfly, and listen carefully. This was not just an album. This was a seismic cultural event. Jazz-infused, politically charged, lyrically devastating on every single track. It made people fundamentally rethink what rap music could achieve as an art form. This album would go on to win the Pulitzer Prize, the first rap album in the history of that award to do so. A kid from Compton made something so transcendently powerful that the highest literary honor in America had no choice but to recognize it. And Drake? Drake could not wave this one off. He could not dismiss it the way he dismissed the Control verse. This was undeniable. And he reportedly admitted it himself. "I was just sitting there getting fat. And then this guy, Kendrick, he hits the gym, running around with 14 hits. And I'm like, okay, let me go to the studio then. Let me get these lyrics up." Drake admitted that Kendrick forced him back to the studio. The supposed biggest rapper alive was reacting to the kid from Compton. He was not leading, he was chasing. But here is where the story turns dark. Instead of elevating his craft honestly, reports and industry insiders allege that Drake leaned harder into ghostwriters. Quentin Miller's reference tracks surfaced publicly, entire verses that sounded suspiciously like someone else's work. While Drake was allegedly assembling hits on a factory production line, Kendrick was writing every syllable himself, constructing entire sonic universes with nothing but his mind and a microphone. Silence backed by excellence. There it is again. If you are locked in right now, hit that subscribe button. We're barely past the midpoint of this case file, and the evidence is about to get exponentially more damaging. The next few exhibits are the ones that truly seal this case shut. Stay with me. Back to it. This is where Drake's alleged villain arc goes from subtle to completely undeniable. 2016 to 2018, the manipulation era. Drake was collaborating with Kanye West on a supposed joint project, flew out to Wyoming, shared music, released strategies, and allegedly deeply personal information about his private life. According to multiple reports, Kanye took some of that information, passed it along to Pusha T, and Pusha used it to expose Drake's secret son Adonis on the devastating track The Story of Adidon. Was that a betrayal by Kanye? Absolutely. Drake had every right to feel hurt. He said in an interview, "I told Kanye I was having trouble with my son's mother. We had a conversation, and then this guy's trolling me. This was manipulative, like an I want to break you kind of thing." That is painful. I will give Drake that single moment of genuine victimhood. But the irony here is staggering, because Drake had allegedly been doing the exact same thing to other people throughout his entire career. He reportedly befriended J. Cole purely to compete with him, allegedly weaponized Rihanna's emotions publicly at the VMAs for his own narrative, was reportedly sliding into DMs that did not belong to him, played psychological chess with artist after artist, then cried foul the moment someone played the same game back at him. That is not a hero being betrayed. That is a villain choking on his own medicine. And where was Kendrick during all this chaos? Silent, observing, not piling on, not kicking anyone while they were down, waiting for the right moment with infinite patience, but remembering everything. This exhibit made my jaw hit the floor when I was piecing it all together, because this is where the alleged manipulation crosses a line most people haven't even fully processed yet. In 2018, rumors erupted that Drake and Kim Kardashian had allegedly been involved. Kim denied it publicly, but Kanye was spiraling. He went on Twitter ranting, "The fact that people are making rumors and thinking that you effed my wife and you're not saying anything and you're carrying it well, that does not sit well with my spirit." Did Drake come out and clearly, firmly deny it? Did he squash it like a man who respects boundaries? No. According to multiple reports, Drake let the rumors marinate, allegedly enjoyed the chaos it was creating, dropped subliminal bars, turned someone's marriage into content for his music. Then in 2025, social media detectives noticed that Kim and Drake had allegedly been spotted in the same location in Italy. Same area, same window of time. Kim had apparently posted something fans connected to Drake's known whereabouts.
Drake even rapped, "Like Cuomo, cigarette boat." Shout out to her ex, Kanye. He's a crash out. Took too many pills. He's a crash out. She in Hidden Hills in a glass house. That is a man allegedly going after someone's family, using intimate knowledge as ammunition, and it is part of a documented pattern stretching back years. Through all of it, every single storm, one man stayed completely above the chaos. Kendrick Lamar. No Instagram wars, no leaked DMs, no threatening texts, no behind-the-scenes manipulation, just silence, patience, discipline, like a man who knows timing is everything. Then 2024 arrived. Drake made the fatal mistake of aiming shots at Kendrick in response to Metro Boomin and Future's track. And after over a decade of watching, Kendrick finally opened the file. First came Euphoria, 6 minutes of surgical precision. Kendrick broke down how Drake allegedly copies flows, uses writers, shifts his accent depending on who is in the room. Every single bar was a scalpel. No filler, no wasted breath. Then came 616 in LA, produced with mustard, hitting Drake where it hurts most, his authenticity. Who is this man really? The Canadian? The Houston persona? The Caribbean accent? Who is Drake when the cameras turn off and the writers leave the room? And then, meet the Grams. This was not a diss track. This was a moral reckoning. Structured as letters to Drake's mother, father, young son Adonis, and Drake himself. He told Adonis to be better than his father. To Drake directly, "I pray your core fans never leave your side, but I think about what happens after that. Who's going to hold you?" That is not hatred. That is not cruelty for sport. That is a man holding up a mirror, an intervention disguised as a diss track. Only someone who genuinely cares about the culture would craft something simultaneously that devastating and that compassionate. Then came the song that rewrote history, Not Like Us. Say, Drake, I hear you like 'em young. You better not ever go to Cell Block 1. To any that want to make it on their own, they not like us. They not like us. A cultural earthquake. #1 on the Hot 100 5 separate times, the anthem of summer 2024. Every party, every sporting event, every barbecue in America. DJ Mustard's production was so infectious that people who do not follow rap were singing it. Your auntie was singing it. Your coworker who only listens to country was humming it in the break room. Kendrick performed it at the legendary Pop-Out concert in Inglewood with half the West Coast standing behind him. DJ Mustard, YG, Nipsey Hussle's family, Dr. Dre in the building, the entire Compton legacy unified behind one voice.
Then he performed it at the Super Bowl, the biggest stage on the entire planet, hundreds of millions watching worldwide, and he did not water it down, did not censor a single word, did not flinch. He delivered every bar with the full weight of 13 years of patience behind it. And Drake? Reportedly sitting in his Toronto mansion posting memes on social media and eventually, allegedly filing lawsuits against Universal Music Group and Spotify to legally challenge the success of the song. Drake allegedly tried to sue his way out of a rap beef. The hero stands before 100,000 people and speaks truth. The villain hides behind lawyers. Okay, let me zoom all the way out now, because I need you to stop looking at individual tiles and see the full mosaic on the wall. When you examine Drake's career, not through the comfortable lens of hit songs and streaming records, but through the unflinching lens of how he allegedly treated the human beings around him, a portrait emerges that is deeply, deeply unsettling. This is a man who allegedly befriended Kanye West specifically to compete with him, then publicly played the victim card when Kanye dared to compete back, who allegedly weaponized Kim Kardashian's proximity as a psychological tool against someone he once called a friend and an idol, who reportedly slid into the DMs of multiple artists' romantic partners, Kanye's, The Weeknd's, and allegedly others, as a deliberate form of psychological warfare designed to destabilize his competition from the inside out, who had the Pusha T situation blow up spectacularly in his face and then blamed literally everyone except the man in the mirror, who relied on ghostwriters while the entire culture celebrated him as a lyrical genius, who went after Kendrick's family in his response tracks when the pressure got real, who allegedly filed legal action against his own record label and streaming platforms because he simply could not compete musically with a song over a mustard beat. And Kanye, of all people, said it plain. He said, "Drake has a rich bibby daddy named Lucian," referring to Lucian Grange, the CEO of Universal Music Group, meaning, in Kanye's framing, all of Drake's streams, all of his records, all of his chart dominance was allegedly controlled and manufactured from the very top of the corporate food chain. Drake, in this reading, is not an independent artist making his own way. He is a product, a very well-packaged, algorithmically optimized, corporate-backed product. And Kendrick? Kendrick is a free artist, uncompromised, unbought, answering to nobody but himself, his community, and his own conscience. And I think this is ultimately what makes the Kendrick versus Drake story so much bigger than rap beef, because it is not really about two men trading bars over beats. It is about a question that applies to everything in life: music, business, politics, relationships, everything. Do we value the person who games the system, who optimizes every angle, packages themselves perfectly, and allegedly borrows from everyone around them while presenting it as original genius? Or do we value the person who stays painfully authentic, who makes uncomfortable art that challenges you, tells hard truths nobody wants to hear, and waits with iron patience until the exact moment demands action? The internet observed it for years. Multiple people, multiple former collaborators, multiple industry insiders, all pointing at the same invisible elephant in the room. And the observation that kept surfacing over and over was this: there's something obviously wrong with this one individual that no one wants to speak about. Well, Kendrick spoke about it, and he said it louder, clearer, and more devastatingly than anyone in the entire history of this genre has ever said anything. Now, because I believe in presenting a fair case, and because truth requires nuance even when the evidence is overwhelming, I do need to acknowledge something. In 2021, Drake and Kanye did briefly reunite for the Free Larry Hoover benefit concert in Los Angeles. They put their differences aside for a cause bigger than either of them. And Drake said on stage, "I appreciate Kanye for having me here tonight. It was important we made this happen."
Being on stage with my idol as he runs through one of the best catalogs in music, period. That was genuine. Larry Hoover Jr. even confirmed that when Drake and Kanye sat down together in Canada with Dave Chappelle present, the beef was reportedly squashed, at least temporarily. So I am not painting Drake as a one-dimensional cartoon villain. People are complicated. He is clearly capable of good moments and genuine gestures. But that peace did not last, because allegedly, based on everything that unfolded afterward, Drake went right back to the subliminals, right back to the same destructive patterns, and by 2024, that fragile truce had turned to ash. And that brings me to where this case file ends, with the man who stood up when absolutely no one else would. Kendrick Lamar came from Compton with nothing, absolutely nothing. No famous parents opening doors, no industry machine clearing the path, no corporate daddy writing checks. He built everything, every single accolade, every award, every legendary moment in his career through pure, undeniable, once-in-a-generation skill and relentless work. He won the Pulitzer Prize, the first rapper in the history of that award. He dropped Damn, To Pimp a Butterfly, Good Kid, MAAD City, and Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, 4 albums that will be studied in university music programs 100 years from now. He never once started beef with anyone, but he finished every single one that came his way with devastating, permanent finality. He performed at the Super Bowl and delivered Not Like Us to the entire planet without blinking. He protected his family fiercely, never let the noise touch his children, never dragged his personal life into the spotlight begging for sympathy. And when the time finally came, he wrote Meet the Grams, not as destruction for the sake of destruction, but as a moral reckoning delivered through the highest form of his art. I truly believe Kendrick did not want this war. If Drake had stayed in his lane, if he had competed fairly, if he had not allegedly gone after families, if he had not spent over a decade playing manipulation games with everyone around him, Kendrick would have been perfectly content making his art in peace and coexisting. But Drake crossed the line, repeatedly, brazenly, and nobody else in the entire industry was brave enough to say it publicly, on the record, with their full chest.
Until Kendrick did. So when you lay out the full case, every single exhibit, every witness, every piece of evidence from 2011 to 2025, the verdict writes itself. Drake spent over a decade allegedly playing chess with people's lives, using relationships as leverage, using intimacy as ammunition, using corporate machinery to sustain a position that many argue his pen alone simply could not hold. He was the most popular rapper in the world, but popularity and genuine respect are two fundamentally different currencies, and by the end, he was bankrupt in the one that actually matters. Kendrick spent that same decade quietly building a body of work that will outlive every streaming record, every chart position, every social media post that has ever existed. He moved with integrity. He chose his moments with surgical precision. And when he finally struck, with Euphoria, with Meet the Grams, with Not Like Us, he did not just win a rap beef. He allegedly exposed an entire rigged system. Kanye himself reportedly said it. If you rap against Kendrick, you will lose. This man does this. You killed my nemesis. And when someone asked if Drake was finished, Kanye allegedly replied, yeah, for now. Silence backed by excellence. Kendrick's entire operating system. No daily posts, no subliminals on features, no lawsuits. He disappears, creates something transcendent, and returns when the moment demands it. Drake operates on volume, Kendrick on precision, and precision destroyed volume. Artistry dismantled machinery. Truth incinerated manipulation. The kid from Compton defeated the product from Toronto. That is not just rap. That is a universal archetype told for generations. Kendrick did not do this for Kanye, not for streams, not for clout. He did it because it was the right thing to do. He stood up for hip-hop, for authenticity, for every artist ever bullied by the machine. Drake is the villain of this story. The evidence points one direction. It just took a hero from Compton to make the world see it. That is my closing argument. Commentary on a public conversation. I want your verdict. Did Kendrick go too far? Did Drake get what was coming? Are there sealed exhibits we have not seen yet? Comments below and be respectful down there. We can disagree passionately without being disrespectful on this channel. If you made it to the end, leave a crown emoji. Hit like, it pushes this past the gatekeepers. Subscribe if you have not. We build case files every single week. See you in the next investigation. Tell me what case you want me to open next. Take care of yourselves. Case closed.